Hey there, Sandra Edmond, Queen of Tax Deeds, and welcome to Tips Tuesday. So what tip do I have today? Well, my tip today is to set up your own checklist for everything you're going to be doing. So one of my checklists I'm going to go over today is called the Acquisitions Process Checklist. So I've got this checklist actually in digital form in my Google Drive, and well, it should be going into Podio because I'm using Podio now. So another thing I have to do is put it into my Podio system. But I literally also print out this checklist because it's so important, because sometimes when you have stuff online, it's just not on your brain, so you just forget about it. So I print it out and I keep it around so that if I have a property I'm working on, I'm not going to forget anything about it. So what is on my acquisitions process checklist? Well, it's broken down into several sections. So I've got it on here from like A through P. P as in Paul. So within each lettered section breaks down several little smaller things that you have to do. So I'll give you an idea of what's on mine by just going over through the larger sections, okay? We don't want to make this video too long. So this particular acquisitions process checklist is made for properties I'm purchasing before the tax deed sale, because as you know, I specialize in buying properties at the tax deed auction. So this is prior to the tax deed sale, and also sometimes these properties may need probate as well. So this is the checklist. We're going to go over it. If you want to see the larger video of this, please go to the YouTube channel where I have it already there. Okay, so continuing on with the checklist. So on this acquisitions checklist, my item A is for me to choose what entity is going to be buying the property. So that means like what company, or if I'm buying it in a trust, or if I'm buying it in my company name. And I've got scribbled on here as well to add the addendum. So there's an addendum that goes to a contract. So B is make an offer. So I make an offer to the seller, and I want to know what entity I'm buying it in because that's who the buyer is. C is order title search, which also includes what's called a municipal lien search, which is when the title company makes sure that there aren't any liens from the county or the city. So those could be water liens or electric bill, which will stay with the property and the owner. For example, if the seller is selling a piece of property and they haven't paid their water bill, and if it's a city or county utility, then it's going to stay with the house, that lien. Okay, then D is check if property taxes are up to date, because sometimes a property could be actually scheduled for the auction. So we always check to make sure that it's not scheduled to be sold. That means that there is a sale date set for the property, okay? It's okay if it's delinquent in taxes, that I'm aware of, but I always keep an eye to make sure there's no sale date pending, because if there is, we gotta move fast enough so that we can close before the sale date and then be able to pay the property taxes. We pay the property taxes after we close, okay? E is recommend attorney for heirs to start probate. So these are properties that are in estates. That means that a owner has passed away. So with this particular property, if that's the case, the relatives that are left over in charge of the estate are going to have to start the probate process. F is pay property taxes before the auction. That's if there's a pending sale. Okay, remember we're trying to close before all that, but if need be, we might end up paying it. Now, if the property is either vacant or occupied, I have other steps that I do. So H is schedule inspection if necessary. M is our marketing. So that's usually getting lots of pictures of the inside and the outside and creating flyer and stuff like that. J is lockbox. So a lot of these steps could be done, several of these steps could be done in the same day. So you don't have to wait and do them one at a time. Some of them can all be done. K is prehab if necessary. And that's basically just landscaping, painting the outside, cleaning the inside, painting the inside, just getting it pretty enough, just knocking out some of the ugly. Okay, the property's like our pig. We're gonna wash the pig, we're gonna deodorize the pig, and paint its little toenails so that investors are not scared of the pig. And then that way, if they do see this little house that probably when we got it was disgusting, they're not going to mind to go inside and think about the possibilities. So we just clean it up to make sure that they can actually envision the possibilities, because there's some investors that can't see past the funk, and they're gonna estimate way too high on their rehabs because of that. Okay. Then L, as in Larry, is keep an eye out for new comparables. So prior to making the offer on the property, we know what our comps are. So we're also keeping an eye on any new comps that are popping up, because that can mess up our sales price, or it can actually increase our sales price. So we're just keeping an eye on all that because we don't want surprises. And offer received. So that means someone has made us an offer. So either I'm wholesaling the deal, and for my assignment, I've got someone that wants to assign it, that wants to take the assignment, or if it's a property that I'm planning to buy and I've already got an offer to buy it once I buy it. N, as in Nancy, is make sure all addendums are created and signed. So this is down here, but that really should be towards the top as well, under make offer. And I've got under make offer, that was B, I've got submit signed purchase sale agreement to title company and submit deposits to title company. So I should actually add on there in B about the addendum. You know what, in the very beginning, remember I told you guys I had to add addendum as well for the land trust, but that was actually an addendum in the contract. In the addendum area of the contract, I always say something in there that we might be taking title in a trust. Okay, so back to N. M as in Mary, offer is received. And then N as in Nancy, make sure, okay, it's down to N, make sure all addendums are created and signed if needed. And you know, some of the more important ones are the lead paint addendum, HOA addendum, stuff like that. And then before closing, there are some steps that I've got as well to take place. So that's O, are some steps before closing. And P is after closing, what happens as well. And that's pretty much it for the checklist. So it's not that long, but this is basically what it looks like. And then depending on the property I'm working on, I put my notes. I have no problem writing stuff on here and also updating the one that's on the computer as well. So they're both updated at the same time, and this stays in sight, in my face. That's what I call dummy proof, so that I go through it every day. If I just look at it, make sure something is done, and I don't have to, there's not anything that I'm missing, okay? And then after I'm done with this checklist for this property, I'm going to scan it in probably and keep it with my documents from this transaction. But the other thing I also do is I update for the future going forward the master checklist. So which each transaction, sometimes something different happens, so you may need to include more stuff in your checklist. Like for this one here, what did I need to do here? Seller's disclosure. I didn't have in here about a seller's disclosure to be signed, so that is something I need to add in here as well. And then my assistant also has a much longer checklist that he has with several items that I need him to make sure that everything is done, then so that I don't miss anything either. And if I have a partner on the deal, they are also have their own checklist as well, and they're going through it as well, so that we don't forget anything, because if you mess up stuff, it's your money, and we don't want to mess up our money, right? We don't want to mess up our money. All right, well, that's it. And if you guys have any ideas or questions, feel free to message me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and of course the queenoftaxdeeds.com website. Now, how do you get this acquisitions process checklist? I hesitate on even doing the video about this because this is something I give out on the field trip. This is actually part, if you've taken my field trip, this is actually part of the home study program. It's on the USB drive, the one with the spreadsheet that says acquisitions process checklist. It's the same spreadsheet that has the tax deed due diligence checklist. There are like several tabs at the bottom. It's basically a Google Drive document that I've made. Okay, so you literally, by the way, people, check off stuff on the checklist. That's how you don't mess it up. So now when you guys get deals, you don't have to contact me and go, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Just calm down. Take out your checklist, put the property address on there, and start going from A through P, okay? All right, thanks for listening to this video, and do be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to the Queen of Taxis channel right here.